Hey guys, this is Blazing Striker here, and I want to say something. The Diary of a Wimpy Kid books are probably the most popular book series, at least for children, in the world. You read them, your mom read them, your fucking dog read them, everybody's read these books. And I personally love these books. They are very near and dear to my heart. I have every single one in a hardcover because fuck the softcover books. They can go die in a fucking hole. So, today what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be ranking every single Diary of a Wimpy Kid book on a tier list. Now, I could have probably arranged these in a separate way that made them like a little bit easier to do, but whatever. Okay, so we're just going to get into it. But I do have to point something out. As of late, the Diary of a Wimpy Kid books have been getting not the best. And they recently released the newest one. Shit, I gotta go check. Hold up. I gotta go check. I just read it last night. The Deep End. Right? Sorry. I forgot. I totally forgot what it was called. They recently released The Deep End, and I literally just read it last night. I got it for Christmas. It was awesome. It was pretty good. So, we're going to rank every single Diary of a Wimpy Kid book that has been released. Plus, we're going to do Awesome Friendly Kid and Awesome Friendly Adventure, because those are technically written by Jeff Kinney and in the same universe, so we'll just go along with it. Alright, so the original. The original was great. It grounded us in a universe where this is reality. It introduced us to the character of Greg Heffley and kind of let us know what kind of person he would be. The original did a great job of establishing the world, establishing who Greg is, who his family is, and for that reason, it's gotta go in the S tier. It wasn't perfect. He definitely was still figuring out some kinks, but for now, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, the original, S tier. Now, Roderick Rules was the perfect sequel. It cemented the relationship between Roderick and Greg. They basically just did a fantastic job of telling us what their relationship is, and that they may fight and they may not like each other, but they still get along and they're still brothers. Once again, almost perfect book. You go in the S tier with your buddy. I could fix it right. Now, The Last Straw. This one's interesting because I didn't like it as much. Being completely honest, I did not like it as much as the first two books. Not saying it was bad, it just could have been better. I do enjoy it, and these first three books were probably some of the best in the series. The Last Straw was really good, and it really just it talked about Greg's relationship with people in his school, like that he wants to have a girlfriend and all this stuff. They introduced, I'm fairly certain they introduced like, oh wait, no, they don't introduce her here. But anyway, besides that,
I don't have a modeling program.
The Last Straw was really good in, that's what The Last Straw did. The Last Straw was really good at cementing the relationship between Greg and his father. Because in this book, his father's threatening him with military school, which we all know Greg wouldn't do great in. It's not my favorite, but it's still really good. It's one of the best. Now, Dog Days is the first of the, well, they didn't really talk about summer vacation in the first, the second, or the third. They kind of skipped over the summer between the third and the second and the third. But Dog Days is the real summer book. Now, this one is great. Once again, this one's great. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Love the fourth book. It's gonna probably go up in A tier because there's a lot of stuff that happens in this book. It talks about his relationship with Rowley. Forgot to mention, first one also did a great job with Rowley. Another reason why it's S tier. Dog Days was really good. It had them going on adventures, and it was just really good how Greg just kind of found himself more. They got a dog because the book's called Dog Days. Obviously, they got a dog. But yeah, Dog Days, really good. Another solid A tier Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Now, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, The Ugly Truth. This is where you kind of see Greg beginning to grow up. Greg is obviously a teenager. He's in middle school, and in this book you can kind of see like what kind of that entails with him growing up. Greg talks a lot in this book and writes a lot about how he's getting older. His body hasn't changed, or it's changing, but it's not changing as fast as he wants it to. And it's a really good message for kids for like when they get to that age, when they're gonna start, getting older, and like their body's gonna start changing. I love The Ugly Truth. As someone who is going through that period of change right now, that book, it definitely means a lot. Oh, here we go, baby. Cabin Fever. Man, this is a good book. This is, in my opinion, okay, so there's a difference between my personal favorite and the best in the series. I think that Cabin Fever nails it in the, like, just in every department. It is the best in the series, in my opinion. It is the best. Now, it's not my personal favorite. It's number 2. I love Cabin Fever, and I would put it higher if I could. But I can't, because this list only goes from S to F. So, we put it in the highest tier possible. S tier. It nails pretty much everything when it comes to Diary of a Wimpy Kid. It nails him with his family, him with Rowley, especially him with himself, because he's like feels guilty about he spray painted like the school, and he got in trouble with the school and such. He gets snowed in, which makes it so he has to live with his family, similar to our time, because they didn't have any groceries, like back when the quarantine was really big. So this one is very, very good. But yeah, Cabin Fever is the epitome of a perfect book when it comes to Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I love it. I literally see no problems with the book. Like, I love Cabin Fever. Now, Third Wheel is kind of where the series began to go a bit downhill. Not really downhill, but a bit downhill. For me, Third Wheel was a bit boring. It talks about Greg's love life a lot, and him with his middle school dance, and it was just not as good as its predecessors. So, in that case, we're going to put Third Wheel into the C tier. Not bad, but not great. Hard Luck is another one of those where it's kind of like, it's a good book. All of them are at least good, but it just doesn't nail. It doesn't hit as hard as the previous books. But I do think that Hard Luck is better in B tier, and Hard Luck is probably the biggest fight that Rowley and Greg had ever had. There's been many times where they split up their friendships, they have to find new friends, but Hard Luck is the big one. I also forgot to mention Ugly Truth. It deals with Rowley and Greg like breaking up tremendously. Another reason why it's in S tier. But Hard Luck, I feel like besides, like, okay, in my opinion, it nails the relationship between Greg and Rowley better than Ugly Truth did, but it's just not as good as Ugly Truth. I do like it better than Third Wheel, however, because in Third Wheel, Abigail, Greg's date to the dance, and Rowley actually start dating, which leads to the main conflict in Hard Luck, which I think that's pretty cool. So Hard Luck gets a solid B tier. Okay, this one's gonna probably rustle some jimmies. I don't like Long Haul. Okay, I'm just gonna come out and say it. The book, it's a good book. Okay, I enjoy it. I enjoy it. I just don't like it as much as the other ones, and not only because Not just because there was a horrendous movie based off of this book. It's just not fun. And, well, okay. You know what? Scratch that. I need to do this tier list based on how I actually feel. But so many of the books after this, after Long Haul, take what was great about Long Haul, like traveling with family, and just take it in so many different directions. And some of them are better, some of them are worse. This one kind of spawned like a certain genre of Diary of a Wimpy Kid book. It's just, this one was probably the best, but I just don't like it as much as our other ones. Yeah, it gets a C tier. I like it, but it started something that the series has been struggling with lately. Okay, this one is gonna probably surprise a few people, but I love Old School. It is my absolute favorite book in the series. It's not the best, but it's my favorite. It's my personal favorite. I love the camping that Greg does near the end of the book. I love his relationship with old technology and dealing with his family and such and such and such. It deals with so much stuff, like, in Greg's life. I just love this book. It is, in my opinion, my favorite. It's not the best, it's second best. It's my favorite. Second best book in the series, easily S tier. Alright, Double Down. Yeah, I can't say I like this book all too much. It's definitely good because at this point Greg is dealing with a lot of stress and a lot of anxiety, which a lot of middle school kids do deal with quite a bit of. But it just doesn't nail it, it just doesn't nail this issue as much as some of the other books do with middle schooler issues. Double Down, I felt like was a bit contrived, and it started this path down, like, things happening to Greg that make literally no sense. Like, that balloon thing that happened to him, and, like, and it's just, with the balloon, and just, well, not not stuff that doesn't make sense, but stuff that no middle schooler would actually have to deal with. Like, studying up on psychology just to get with some college girl. No one that I know would ever do something like that. He's so desperate for attention and girls or whatever, he's willing to do that. It just doesn't seem realistic to me. Now, like I said, the Long Haul made a bunch of vacation books, and the Getaway, it's probably the best out of the vacation genre. I enjoyed the Getaway, but I feel like at this point he had really stopped trying, Jeff Kinney, because he knew the books would be successful regardless. And I'm not saying he didn't try. It's a good book, but at this point, this is the point where he kind of realized that he didn't have to try anymore, which I don't find that bad. I understand that he's allowed to be successful. He's allowed to, do all this stuff. They're his books. We just read them. We're lucky that we have them. But I just feel like at this point he's kind of stopped trying to write the best that he could. And I'm genuinely sorry about that. So this one actually is going to go down with Long Haul in C tier. Sorry, I have to move all these out of the way. Alright, Meltdown. Yeah, I know exactly where you're going. I know exactly where you are going. I don't like you, Meltdown. I really don't like you. It takes Greg's winter vacation and kind of runs with that, which you're never gonna top Cabin Fever, so don't even try it. Message to Jeff Kinney: don't try to do what Cabin Fever did. You will never do it again. Okay? Capiche? Okay. The Meltdown, I feel like, was trying to be Cabin Fever, but fails in pretty much every way. I do like the big war, like with the people on Surrey Street or wherever they are. I forgot what street they lived on. But the Meltdown is just not the best. It's once again proving that he wasn't trying as hard with his books. But okay, Wrecking Ball. This one broke the trend. This book is third best, in my opinion. Maybe not third. Fourth best, I would say. This book is the fourth best book in the Diary of a Wimpy Kid series because it deals with having to move away, and they're probably one of the most powerful scenes that I have ever read was the scene where Greg and Rowley had to say goodbye to each other. I'm not lying when I say this to you. When I read that, I fucking cried. Alright, and I was reading this at school, mind you. It was lunchtime, and I wasn't having a very good day that day, and I read that book, and I just started to cry. It was like, I know it sounds stupid, and I'm pathetic for crying at a Diary of a Wimpy Kid book. I don't care. Say all the shit you want. That was the saddest shit to me. Like, it was so sad, because they had been on so many adventures together, and so much shit together. Like, it was really good. The book dealt with Greg having to move. They got inheritance from their great aunt Reba that had sadly passed away. I felt like it could have been better on a few things, which is like Greg dealing with his family and this is starting to pick up more and stuff that could never happen to a middle schooler, like stuff that could never happen in general. Like it went from being like an actual middle schooler documenting their life like in the original to now where a fucking wrecking ball is going through their house. Like it's just not. It could have been better. It could have been better. Which is why it's not S tier. I think it's the best of the most recent ones. Since after like old school, this is the best one. Now Deep End. Just read this guy last night. Still a lot in my mind, and it's the funniest, in my opinion. It has the most jokes. It has the most kinda, it's not the most relatable. It's nowhere near being relatable. But it is funny as shit. And if you could read it, I recommend it, because it's very, very funny. It's probably the funniest in the series. But this is where shit really makes it seem like there's no way that any of this stuff could happen to an actual middle schooler. There is no way some of this stuff that happens in the book. I'm not going to spoil it, because this one is new. There's just no way. And because of that, I feel like that outweighs it being funny. So I'm going to give Deep End a D tier. I know it may sound bad, but I just didn't like this one as much as the other ones. And here we have an interesting entry. We have Diary of an Awesome Friendly Kid. This one was different. Jeff Kinney was kind of bargaining with creativity here. He made something that a lot of people didn't know that they needed, but once they read it, they knew they needed it. Awesome Friendly Kid gave us an insight onto what being friends with Greg Heffley is like. And to be honest, Greg is kind of a piece of shit. This is around the time when Awesome Friendly Kid came out, where the Greg Heffley memes, like the Diary of a Wimpy Kid memes, started to take off. And the theories started piling up. And the main theory is that Greg is a sociopath. And a little bit before this, like, it was getting popular, but this book kind of cements that Greg is literally a horrible friend. He's a narcissist. He's not a good person to be around. And it's proven by the fact that he is constantly, like, throughout the series, he abuses Rowley. But this one is where it really makes itself apparent. Awesome Friendly Kid is really good and will get a B tier from me. Other people might have it in higher standards. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I like seeing things from Rowley's perspective, but I feel like they could have made a bit more stuff about Rowley, because like literally it's a detail in the book that Rowley originally wanted to make it his own book, but Greg said that it has to be about his relationship with Greg. Like, Greg literally told Rowley that he had to change the book to make it about Greg, which further proves his narcissism and sociopathy. Excuse me. Now we have Rowley Jefferson's Awesome Friendly Adventure. This one was kind of two things at once. Not only was it a journal about writing an actual story, but it was the story. So as the story got written, we got to see the kind of like the behind the scenes. And we've never seen that before with these books. And I feel like it was actually a really good call. I'm going to give this book probably a B tier. I'll put it in between A and B tier, because this one is kind of creative. He had never done this, and he kind of hit it off. He kind of did a good job actually with this. He somehow managed to not only write a completely original story, like within, you know, the universe that Rowley was writing, but he also kind of made a cool behind the scenes. And once again, Greg was changing up the story a lot from what Rowley's original imaging of it was. So I feel like that is between A and B tier. So yeah, this is the list. And if you're wondering about the movie tier list, well, here's how that would go for me. The original movie, which basically just covers the original book, A tier, easy A tier. Roderick Rules, which covers a bit from Roderick Rules and a bit from Last Straw, definitely goes into S tier. That one was absolutely amazing, better than the first one and the third one. And the third one, Dog Days, which covers the dog days, like just Dog Days, goes into B tier. It wasn't as good. The writing wasn't as fluid. Some of the jokes didn't hit as hard. I did like Greg's relationship with Roderick after Roderick Rules, and I also liked Greg and Holly Hill's relationship. So that's my opinions on the movies, and we don't talk about this movie. We don't talk about it. I don't know why that's in such low poly. We don't talk about that movie. That movie doesn't exist. Nope. I don't even know what I'm talking about right now. The long haul movie, that they have not made a long haul movie. It doesn't exist. Don't ask me about it in the comment section because you will be ignored. F tier. Okay. But yeah, that's my tier list of the Diary of a Wimpy Kid books. Let me know what your opinion on the series as of late in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out, guys. See you later.